here with Tony.
My name is Tony.
My husband. Husband. And we're here to bring you some tips if you are training or planning to train with your partner, because there's some things that are not always told.
Every gym has one or two, at least.
And it's important to have a basic idea of what it's going to look like, because it's not the same kind of training like it would be with any other partner, and we'll explain why right now.
And what we would have liked to know going into it at first.
Yeah.
So,
when we started training together, we were just friends. We had started to kind of get interested in one another. I had already been training for a year and a half. He had just gotten into it a little bit because I had introduced him, and then he fell in love with it on his own. But I really wanted him to train because I didn't want to have to be with somebody who didn't train Jiu Jitsu. So what ended up happening was we basically started training.
About 5 years later.
Yeah. And now we're married, and now we train.
I've tapped her before.
Yes, he has.
Many times, so.
Many times?
Many times.
Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing that I am going to say right now is you're going to want to set some boundaries as far as the frequency that you'll train together. What are some things that you're okay with having them do, the level of intensity, or just starting off technical. You want to be clear going into it because you guys aren't thinking the same. And so if you're thinking he's going to go easy on you, but he decides to put on some pressure and you're not expecting it, that can create some strife. And that goes vice versa. If the girl ends up going really hard and the guy thinks she'll just be technical, he's going to want to all of a sudden bring on a whole nother level of intensity as well.
So you agree that you're more intense and I'm more technical?
Yeah.
You agree?
No, I am technical
we got it on
and
tape.
intense.
We recorded that one.
I'm technical and intense,
That's That's right.
I'll talk about on the point after Tony makes.
Yep.
I have another one.
So is
Tony,
it my turn?
Yep.
Piece of advice is over compliment your partner if you have to say anything. I guess say it sometimes, because whenever something happens, like if you're over complimenting and something happens they don't like, it'll balance out somehow, and like emotionally, and they'll just kind of, I guess, brush it off. I've tried it, it works. You know, Abby's a higher rank than me, so it looks different when I do it. It'll be like, wow, you should show me that. Or, hey, you submitted me easier than last time, or something like that. And,
but you don't lie.
No, don't lie. You find something to equalize what you see coming.
Okay, that's a really good point. And I've done that as well, as far as just emphasizing something that they do well, even if you guys are kind of neck and neck, because there is more intimacy between you two, and so the emotions tend to come out a little bit easier. Guys can compartmentalize a little bit easier than women can for the most part. Not everybody. The point that I was just mentioning is understanding that you guys are in fact way more intimate than anybody else. They know your good side, they know your really bad side, they know what triggers you.
They know when they can see something coming from a mile away, even before it happened.
And then honestly, what triggers you to get frustrated or do well. So like him over complimenting, and trying to emphasize, he knows that I'm going to respond positively that way. Whereas before, he would sometimes do things that he knew would trigger me and get me frustrated. And the same thing goes with me to him. You're more intimate, so you have
What would I do though?
What would you do?
What would I do? What that made you irritated?
You'd laugh or smile. In the middle of rolling intensely.
Who doesn't have fun while rolling?
No, he doesn't do it with anybody else.
That's part of the problem. Because it's a back and forth.
Problem?
That's a back and forth, I guess, playfulness. And you're trying to one up each other technically, and you have fun, you giggle, but you can't not allow that. That's not something,
anyway.
You can't just exclude that. That's part of the game.
No, but there's a time and place to have it be fun and outgoing and giggly.
The whole time.
There's a time.
The whole time.
There's not the whole
time. Always a good time. It's called the gentle art. I mean, it's smooth, it's fun, it's great. You're not like trying to.
Would you say that you giggle and laugh with other people rolling on a frequent basis?
Yes.
I have not seen that.
I don't care. You're not watching every one of my rolls.
This is gonna be a video.
You
full
see
of
where
edits.
it's going?
All right.
So whose turn is it? Mine?
So, Tony, what's the next one?
The next one is once you establish who the aggressive one is or intense one versus the one who's less likely to, I guess, get flustered or angry. If you're the latter one, if you're the one that's more calm or calculated, sometimes you gotta decide just don't roll with them. Even if they're in a great mood, sometimes you don't want to take any chances. Mm-hmm. I've done that. And sometimes it'll come home with you too.
Yeah.
You'll come home and she's been agitated because I giggled or something and I didn't take it back. And she doesn't like how I treat her on the mats. And sometimes, if I'm having a great day, I'm just not going to roll there. That's it.
And the same thing goes for me. If I'm looking to work something specific and I know that I'm more emotional, especially during those times of the month, I will very intentionally not roll with him, knowing that I'll get agitated easier because of him, or something will happen. Hormones are real, especially for females. If you're on that time of the month and you know that person will agitate you more frequently, don't get near them. Try your best to roll with the people that will not, frustrate you, because the last thing you want is letting the emotions get control of you, which is something that I think we all struggle with in some way, shape, or form, whether it's somebody that you don't love.
Leave your ego at the door, but some people bring it in anyway.
All that to say, know your emotions, and if you can actually pinpoint them or know that you're near that time of the month and you're not super stable as a female, or if you're a guy and you've had a really stressful day and something is already bothering you or irritating you, and you know that person can irritate you very quickly, don't do it. Don't go there.
What would you do without them? Why would you get mad at them? Like, after all, you made them come.
Yeah. I made them?
Just enjoy it.
I made them come?
Here I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so it can be one of the best things because you do end up sharing a lot of time together. You're there at the gym a lot. So having that person support you and also train with you is crucial, as far as you being able to train more or have them understand what it means. Because when people don't have a partner that trains jiu-jitsu or doesn't care for jiu-jitsu, it can get difficult from what I've seen.
Here's a misconception. People think that when your partner trains jiu-jitsu that you have all this mat time at home. We never train at home ever.
No.
Nope.
Eventually
it's only at our gym. We should.
Eventually, I think
some couples
we will.
might, but not this one.
Well, it's also because we spend a lot of time at the gym already, and outside of the gym we're working and doing other things, which I would say we could eventually get mats. But besides the point, knowing and appreciating that your partner trains is really important, and you have to remember that on a consistent basis. If they don't train with you and you want them to, it's always worth encouraging them, but be careful on the lines that you're going to cross, because some people can take it a little bit more seriously, especially if it's a guy asking a girl to come train. You want to ease yourself into that. I have seen people get, issues in their marriage or their relationship because they just can't understand it all the time, right? Because jiu-jitsu does take consistency and time away from other aspects of your life. Mm-hmm. So having a partner is amazing to train with and have. And I really do enjoy it, but it does take work like anything else. So I hope that's helpful to you guys. It happens to every couple.
Not to us, though.
Not to us.
Nope.
Anyway, but if you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, if you have a significant other that trains, what's something that you could give as a piece of advice for those that are starting to train together in a gym?
Drop it in the comment section below.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.